Good afternoon, welcome to the shed and the start of yet another project. Had another idea as I was on my dog walk yesterday. If you've been watching my previous videos, which of course you have, you'd have seen that the struggles I had with my solar goddess, or my solar fountain goddess, which was based on the lead goddess I did originally. I tried to add a nice surround, but it failed because it just took too much lead. I will return to it, but at the moment it's on hold. Anyway, so I had a little idea. Now that I've thinned out my mould for the lead goddess, I've realised that I could actually convert one of these into a solar fountain. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cast one of these, and then I'm going to experiment with drilling through, obviously in the lead, drilling through here and drilling through at the bottom, and then inserting my fountain spout thingy through there. I'll have to find some way of soldering. I'm sure that is possible. Yeah, so I'm going to do that in this video. Shouldn't be too difficult. The other thing I'm going to do is add a hook at the top, or a sort of angled piece of lead underneath that can be used to, it'll be that way around, to hook onto a wall. And then I'm going to make a small lead cleat, French cleat kind of system that somebody can put 2 screws through and then just hang it onto, because I think if water is going to be flowing, there's going to be a bit more sideways movement, so you can't just hang it on a screw. Luckily lead's quite malleable, so you can sort of put it in place and tap it, and then it'll sort of settle down into a nice sort of firm position. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this video. A couple of other things. I managed to find a lead supplier. You know who you are. He's an architectural roofer, lead worker, and obviously these are the scraps. So these came from a well-known cathedral. It wasn't Notre Dame, don't worry, and they are legit. I won't name check him because I don't know if he's happy about that. But anyway, I've got a decent supplier for some lead. So I'm happy about that at a reasonable price, which means that I can sort of judge my pricing for the items that I'm selling. Okay, let's crack on. I said 2 things, can't remember what the other one was. I remember what it was. So always on the lookout for a bargain. I found this at the market the other day. Gas cylinder, burner. So when I'm doing my lead, I can use this to give it a bit of a boost, and at some point I'll get a proper base burner thing. But I think these are about 20 quid just for the cylinder, and it's actually got a bit of gas in it as well. If you want to guess how much I paid for it, down below, Hitchin Market, see what I paid. Closest guess wins a shout out. Okay, hope you enjoy the video. Let's crack on and see if we can get this thing built. Right, so this is the mould, this is the back part of the mould. The difficulty with all of these things is, or with these things, is everything's in reverse. So I've got to try and think in reverse. So I need to cut a little wedge out of there, and then that will become the tab that I will use as the hanger. So it's just going to be just a little sort of triangular, it's basically a French cleat. Now I don't know if you know what a French cleat is, but it's what I use to hang. So if you can see that on the wall here, this is a French cleat. So it's a 45-degree angle. It locks in. The harder you pull it, the stronger it gets, is the idea, until breaking point. So I'm going to use that sort of principle. The trouble is I've got to try and cut into that piece here at an angle of, let's say, well, I guesstimate at 45 degrees, and I suppose about 2 inches wide. So I'll probably make the 2-inch cut first of all. Let's use a measuring stick just to, oh actually, a really good idea, I can use this. So this is like a sort of exact, precise block. This one is exactly exactly anyway. It's exactly 3 centimeters, 2.5, can't remember. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my marker, and I'm going to cut in at an angle there. Like so. And then I'm going to cut from there to there at a 45-degree angle, which I'm going to have to kind of guess. But I have got one here, just to get the right idea. It doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice if it was close. So that's about there. So find that mark there. Oh, it's really tricky to know where to go to. Should have marked it with my pen, shouldn't I? That would have been sensible. Okay. Okay, so that's that cut done. Now the difficult one. Somehow I need to cut in there without damaging the rest of the mould. So I think I could just about do it. Luckily when I cut it, when I press it, I can see it open up, so I can at least see where to cut. Did I mention I used to be a surgeon? There you go. Don't know if you can see that, but there is now a ridge in there now. I'm slightly worried that that might not be deep enough, but I'm going to try it. It is at a 45-degree angle. It has got a bit of a ridge to it. I think that might be all right. Don't forget I can clean up the lead afterwards anyway, so because the lead is quite forgiving, luckily. Okay, so that's me hanging system, my cleat system. Now I'm going to make a little mould. I'm going to make up a couple of small little cleats with this bit of 1/4 inch ply and use that to make a mould. So I'm going to cut that and I'll show you in a moment. At least I know the width. Probably do it that by that, by that. Cool. Okay, so I've made this small piece. That's going to be a mold. I'm going to mould that in lead. There'll be a couple of drill holes countersunk, and then that thing will hook on there. That should take any extra weight that's needed. Because it's lead, we can just tap it and it'll settle down nicely because it's not completely straight. Might have to sand that slightly. Yeah, so that's going to be included in the price of, well, I'll start, it'll be built into all of these from now on. So, yeah, that should do the job. Quite happy with that. Might have to start including some screws in the pack as well. Be proper professional. And some instructions. Bloody hell. Okay, next stage is to make a little mini silicone mould for this. I'll just do that in a little, I don't know, little plastic tub or something. And then when I've done that, I can pour a couple of those, and then experiment with drilling through for me pipe. I need to do a bit of research on how I solder to the lead because I would like it to be fixed. Probably just warm it up and use a bit of solder, but not too hot for the lead to melt. Don't know. Okay, back to you soon. So quickly cast one of these, cleaned it up a little bit, needs a little bit more. Yeah, so my little cleat has turned out quite nice, needs a little bit of tidying up. but that's one of the good things about lead, is it's quite forgiving. You can correct any errors quite easily. So this will be the cleat. That will slide under there, and that will just hang like so. So the more weight that's on it, as long as it's screwed in tightly, it just can't come off unless you lift it up, which is cool. So now I'm going to just have a little think about drilling through the mouth. Nil by mouth. Okay, so this is the pipe. It's 10mm. See if I can find a drill that exactly matches it, and then we'll have a go at inserting that. I'll just have to take that off as well. Okay, so this is looking very good. I've drilled through. That looks good. We can see that. I've well, I already had the elbow joint on there. I'm now going to, if I can find me another bit of pipe. Oh, it's over here. It's a bit hot. I'm going to slide this pipe in here and solder that if I can. Yeah, needs a bit of a clean up. Line it all up, get some solder on there. We will be in business. I'm going to do that. I'll just set it up, and then I'll show you the actual join. I'm going to try and drop a bit of solder around the edge there as well. Don't know if that'll actually work, but I don't want to melt the lead mask, obviously. Okay. Well, I managed to get some solder to stick, although, ouch, that's still hot. Of course it is. I don't know if I've got quite the right stuff there, so I might have to find something that's a bit more suitable. Or maybe just tap it in. And I mean, obviously that joint's got to be good, so that's okay, I'll test that. But maybe just tap the lead like this, just to give it a bit of grip. Bit hot at the moment, but yep, that is working. Okay, brilliant. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if you can see that. It's hot, so she looks good, doesn't she? If you saw the struggles that I had trying to get the solar fountain, whatever it's called, you'll see that makes me pretty happy. It was a big struggle, and this is quite a nice simple solution in the end. Just by lightening up the mask, it's made it easier for me to stick a pipe in it. Should have thought that in the first place. But anyway, you live and learn. Every day's a school day. I think that's my motto, really. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to dress it up with the patina oil stuff. And then I'm going to see if I can stick a pipe on it and get some water coming out of it. Exciting times. See you soon. Be tomorrow. Morning, welcome to the shed. I didn't do me door opening palaver this morning because it's pissing down with rain outside, so I started off in the shed. It was good enough for Jack Hargreaves, so it's good enough for me. Okay, so this morning we're going to do a little unboxing and a little test of our, I've been calling it a solar fountain, but actually it should be a water feature, because I went to the local aquarium centre this morning. They don't seem to have any solar fountains that are just a pump. You have to have like a fountain on the top of it. Anyway, so it's a water feature. I bought myself a pump, and in a moment we'll get that unboxed, and then we're going to try to make this work. I'm not actually going to put it in situ yet. I'll do that on later in the video because I still haven't got me silicone, so I can't make my cleat yet. Once I've got my silicone for my cleat, I will show you how I set it up and try and find somewhere fairly decent to put it. Fortunately, I haven't got any lovely red brick walls or anything like that. It's all sort of white render, so it's a bit naff. Or I could put it on a big log or something. But so that'll be the sort of second part of the video. But first of all, let's have a look at the pump and see if we can just make it squirt some water. Okay, as I said, went to the aquarium centre this morning. Got a metre of flexible-ish hose, the right diameter. I'm not sure if it's the right diameter for the pump, so that's the first thing we're going to find out. Got myself a drink, still not sponsored by Pepsi, still waiting for that call. Lovely. Okay, let's have a look, see what we've got in here. Hopefully it won't be that difficult to set up. Okay, so there's the little submersible pump. That's presumably the outlet. Oh, and it's adjustable, which is good because I don't really know how much... Oh, it doesn't come with a plug. It's a while since I've seen that. Most stuff comes with a plug, but it has got a nice long cable. And it is mains powered. Okay, so let's, I won't undo that yet, I'll do the plug in a moment. Let's just see if these fit, first of all. So this is my hose. Needs tidying up, let's do that. And, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, that fits just about. Possibly that one. No, it's going to be this slightly narrow one, but that's going to need some kind of clip on there to make that nice and tight. And I presume that just fits in there. Okay, so that'll go inside our water feature. We'll have to, I suppose we can side mount it. The pipe will run up to the goddess, and that will fit in there. I've already got a little extra sleeve on here. Okay. I went for the bigger tube and just used a bit of heat on the pipe to warm it up and fit it. So that will now fit in there okay. I think that is actually tight enough, can't see that going anywhere. Okay, get a plug on here. Okay, that was successful in the end. I was slightly worried I bought a duff one there for a minute, but it was just needed to prime up a bit. So yeah, it's got about the right flow, it's adjustable, all good. Now I've just got to find somewhere to mount it and make it look nice. I've got a little butler's sink which I'm going to use, get some nice pebbles, but I don't know where to actually mount the goddess, but I'll sort something out. Okay, that'll be the next bit in a few minutes. Okay, so this is the pump mounted inside the sink. There is the lead goddess on a very unattractive piece of wall, but it all seems to fit together okay. Probably could do with a more flexible hose, to be honest, but I suppose it depends on your installation. So I'm now going to seal up that plug hole with some silicone, or sorry, some polyurethane. Hopefully it'll be strong enough to hold it and hold a bit of water. Get some bricks and pebbles in there, give it a go. It's not going to look fantastic, but it'll be all right for a demonstration. Okay, so I had a successful installation into my sink. I've used the polyurethane to do a couple of layers. It does leak a little bit, but that should be sealed now. It's certainly hard. Yeah, everything's all set up. Only problem I've got is I couldn't get any pebbles, so I'm going to have to sort of run it without pebbles and then do those for the final sequence. So I'm going to go and set it up now, and next time you see it, it should be running. So there she is running. This is it in situ. No pebbles yet. It's holding water. It's running at the right speed. One of the problems I've got is that the hose isn't flexible enough, so every time I push the sink against the wall it kinks and blocks it. So okay, that pretty much wraps it up. I'll run some footage at the end of the video once I've got my pebbles in situ. Okay, thanks for watching. We had some moderate success. It looks pretty good. Couldn't get any pebbles, which is a bit annoying, and also my wall is a bit not very attractive. So you know, all things considered, it works and it's not too bad. This stuff here doesn't work very well. As soon as you put any kind of bend in it, it kinks and blocks your water. So I need to use braided hose in future. So at the end of the video, I will run some footage of the pebbles in situ with the water flowing nicely over them. hopefully, but still against my horrible wall backdrop. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, leave a comment down below, buy the product because they'll be on Etsy fairly quick, I'm sure. That's the way I roll. Thanks very much. See you soon.